Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Project Highrise. Welcome back to Magnificent Towers, which is certainly not as magnificent as it once was. Last episode, I asked you guys if we should go ahead and continue with this and try to recover after the mass exodus from this building. And honestly, the comments were a bit split. About 90% of people were like, hey, put my name in the game. About 5% of people were like, hey, maybe don't continue, and 5 were like, hey, do continue. So I thought, I mean, last part was part 8, this is part 9, next will be part 10. I'm gonna give it until the end of part 10 to recover Magnificent Towers. So if this goes well, then we may be looking at the end of the next episode and saying, hey, this has gone really well, let's leave it and carry on with a new game next week or something. Or we'll be looking at it and going, this didn't work, things didn't go so great, let's leave it there, learn from our mistakes, which is something that was quite consistent in the comments, and see what we can do for another tower or something in another, you know, game of another Let's Play of this game. So that's kind of the idea I'm thinking of at the moment, and I think that's fair enough. I have made some changes to the building. I have ridiculous amounts of media buzz and influence at the moment. The biggest change, I'm sure you've noticed, is that this tower is now maxed out in terms of height. I haven't put utilities in, utilities, that's the word I was looking for. I haven't put utilities into that tower just yet, because I have just done this. It's just got constructed, and the reason I've constructed this is quite simply because I want to try and get 250 apartment residents into Magnificent Towers. Now, you might also be able to notice that there are some small changes just here and there. Some of those include getting a bunch of people moved back in. Some include, you know, small just changes in various places. For example, this was once all restaurants. There are now some restaurants and some apartments and some offices there, rather than the restaurants that we once had. Generally, I have made just a bit of a switch with the entire thing to turn it into something that is much more of a residential structure, I guess. That's kind of what we're going for. What I would like to do right off the bat then is I'm gonna experiment with sky bridges again. So we're gonna build up from here. We're gonna build up to, I'm gonna say that height, about there. So up to about that point. Then basically just fill all of this in, and we'll get the more sky bridges in, which I hope will help. Because something I'm noticing very consistently, and I don't know if this is either a bug with the game or what it may be. It might be through my design of having different buildings here for everything. But basically, housekeeping is never good enough. And we have a lot of housekeeping lots in these buildings. There are so many of them. 1, 2, 3. I mean, is that all housekeeping if I remember right? Yeah. So that's 6 housekeeping places, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 in there right off the bat. And there's honestly probably about 20 of them throughout the entire lot that we had, the entire, you know, set of buildings. And that's not enough for some reason. And that's kind of ridiculous to me. That is just not enough. So I'm hoping that's maybe just a bug that'll get fixed in the game, because that is just all sorts of silly. Anyway, let's go ahead and just demolish everything that we built here except for the topmost layer, because that way we can go ahead and get my construction workers to get those new sky bridges in. I'm also going to have to evict the people on this floor because they will start getting really annoyed that everything is super busy around them, but that's okay. We can evict those guys and turn it into another glass bar across the set of buildings. Let's just go ahead and get all of this out as well, get these little bits out, and finally get these little bits out just over here as well. Whilst the construction's going on there, I mean, obviously they're not quite constructing anything, they are moving out the former tenants, but you might notice that my prestige level isn't ridiculously low as it once was. I held a live stream for a little while to test things out and see how things were going with Magnificent Towers, and in about 70 or 80 minutes of play, my prestige level went from, I think, 86 to 84. That was just through very, very basic things, mostly just waiting around to see how long it took for the prestige level to naturally, you know, raise itself up again. It takes a very, very long time to do that. I did then decide to start placing art everywhere. These large sculptures more or less give you +1 point of prestige, so I have quite a few of those throughout the building. There are a whole bunch of them up here, and I'm gonna be getting even more of them so that I can basically just recover. That is gonna be my best method to recover this whole thing, is just loads and loads of art. That really is just gonna be the way to do it. Just art everywhere. It's the simplest way, but at least we have this sky bridge in now, and it does seem to be getting used a fair bit. There's a lot of workers going here and there to do something or other. What I do need to do is make sure I stay on top of maintenance. And it may even be worth going ahead and kicking out a lot of the people that we have around here, because they get worn down very, very quickly. Because this whole space is very, very busy. So I think I will, in fact, go ahead and break the lease that we have with everyone that lives or suffers? I read the word suffer, I said suffers. Apparently they suffer on the ground floor. That does cost me -2 prestige, but that was totally worth getting rid of them, because it does mean we're not going to be dealing with as much in the way of maintenance. Now, -1 to prestige, and then -1 to prestige. That's fine. That is honestly fine by me. We'll get all those guys moved out. That's going to help once again with maintenance. No one's needing renovated. It also means the ground floor of all of these buildings are, well, they're lobbies at this point. That is all they are going to be, which I'm actually quite okay with. So, yes, as you can see, the sky bridge here is actually super useful. And who are you? You're laundromat. You are laundromat. It seems home cleaners. I guess maybe the issue I was having, and it does seem there are a lot of home cleaners getting about, maybe the issue I was having was tied to the fact that there wasn't an easy way for these guys to get to the other buildings, because this absolutely seems to be speeding things up and helping quite a bit. So I'm assuming that's actually what the issue was. Now let's go ahead and just bring this wallpaper the whole way across, anywhere that we can bring it, just to make this area look that little bit better. There we go. So there are some areas we obviously haven't done yet, but we can go ahead and fill those in. And these areas over here need some wallpaper too, just to make them look quite nice. I do really dislike that we can't get more construction workers. That's honestly one of my biggest pet peeves with this game currently, is that you cannot get more construction workers. Although -18 on prestige, whilst not as good as what it was when we started here, that's not terrible compared to what it once was. Now let's go ahead and get that in. There we go. So the entire ground floor is now a lobby, which should make things a little bit more efficient. And it certainly seems that there isn't as much demand for these services as there once was. So I am absolutely assuming, I don't know for sure, but I assume that you do need good connections between your services and your tenants. Now what I'd like to do is then go ahead and bulldoze this guy. I should not have done that. I want to bulldoze that guy. I also want to get the services back in here, because I completely disconnected them, which is not what you want to do. So connect you guys up, there you go. And they also need gas. So connect those guys up. And I'm going to go ahead and basically just add in a bunch of these small apartments again. And the good news is that I can actually add them to this floor down here as well, because it's not going to be too smelly for the tenants. So go ahead and get all those in. We'll go ahead and look at some deluxe studio apartments to get that little bit more rent. And it does count towards the contract that we're aiming for. We can't get the luxury ones because we need more stores that sell appliances and housewares. Honestly, I'm not too worried about that. We have a bunch of deluxe one-bedroom apartments there as well. We have some two-bedroom apartments. If I really wanted luxury, I mean, again, for these, we need a lot of things, but we're getting there. And honestly, that's the most important thing. What are these? These are offices, aren't they? Yeah, creative and technical, legal, financial. Cannot get medical because we need one drugstore in the building, which we don't currently have, interestingly. Is that a drugstore? No, that's a liquor store. Okay, well, downstairs from the liquor store, obviously, we're gonna get a drugstore. Which means I can then come over here and get some medical offices. So we'll go 1, 2, and 3, and we'll get some advertising going for some more. Because there are a bunch we could put in here as well. I think I need to make sure I don't put in too many. Now we can get some creative and technical as well, which is great news. So we'll throw those in to a bunch of these places, and hopefully they'll stick around. Legal offices we can't get because we need more small stores. Financial we can get, so we'll get some financial offices too. So throw all of those in. We'll advertise for some creative and technical and some more financial. And we'll come down here, I suppose. So what was it we needed? We needed more... What was it we needed here? They need large restaurants, gourmet menu restaurants, appliances and housewares, and luxury. Yeah, I'm not really interested. What do I need for a 2-bedroom luxury apartment? More medium stores and appliances. Okay, that's fair. At least I can come in here and do another small apartment. We'll get another one of the deluxe ones there. Okay, and again, that's going to be a 2-bedroom, which I need more small stores for. Or medium for the luxury one. I really don't know if I want the luxury ones just yet. It seems like it would make sense, though. So I guess I could do both. We could easily do both. We do have room here for another small store. So if I go ahead and throw a small store in there, we'll do... Let's take a bit of a risk and do... Let's see, books. We'll do a bookstore. I don't know how many of those we happen to have. And that actually wasn't enough to get another one of these apartments. Now, these guys don't currently have the connections that they need. That's something I need to absolutely stay on top of. So give them water. And that'll keep them happy. It doesn't look like anyone else is missing any connections, which is good news. So, we need more small stores, do we? Okay. I could add a couple in here. That is always an option, adding some small stores to this floor. Because we can get 2 right there. Which I think is fair enough. So let's do portable electronics. And let's do flowers. Because why not? And is that enough? It is. Okay, let's get some 2-bedroom apartments. Is that luxury? No. So let's just stick with the standard 2-bedroom apartments. To get the number of people living here just to go up a little bit. No, these... Oh, I'd realized that... Yeah, the new ones I've built aren't luxury. That's a bit of a shame. There are some luxury studio apartments in there, but that's alright, we'll get there. Again, loft apartments, not entirely sure that I will be going for these, because we do need luxury... No, wait, those are luxury 2-bedroom... Oh, hold on a minute. Now, these are 2-bedroom apartments. Right, okay, so we needed medium stores for those. Let me place one as a... That's a small 2-bedroom. So luxury 2-bedroom just needs more medium stores and appliances. Now here's a question. Who just moved out? You moved out. I assume I didn't give you the connections that you needed. I can only assume that's what I did. So they need more medium stores and appliance stores. So if I come over here and I say... I mean, here could technically... No, that's the place I said that I didn't want to do that. Let's try here. Let's do a medium... Computers, appliances, and houseware. Do that. So we'll try that. And then I want another small store just here. So once again, we'll go for food and beverage, perhaps. We have flowers. Let's do portable electronics. I want to see why they moved out. I don't know what I didn't give them. Electricity. Yeah, that'll do it. That's fair enough. Electricity is a valid reason. It's definitely something you need. Also a phone line too. So let's get you the phone line that you need. There we go. No, there was someone else there. Look, yeah, you need something. So you need electricity as well. I can get you that. There you go. So that'll hopefully keep you happy. Now, if I go ahead and check my placeholder apartment, more medium stores. Okay, okay. I don't really know where to put them. I mean, that's my security office, so... I mean, it could go up there, but it seems like a bit of a silly place to put it. We could, I suppose, evict this floor, which I guess I will do just because it is sort of the easiest way to get another medium store in there. So we'll do that, and absolutely hope for the best. Our money is climbing again, which is good news, because it means that I can just sort of leave the game running if I so desire, and everything should be alright. I could also put some medium stores down here, which I think I'll do. We'll get some medium stores there. And we'll do appliances and housewares. We'll do a shoe store. And we'll do handbags and briefcases. Then we'll also get one here. Just so it is also above ground. So medium store there, and we'll do computers and electronics. There we go. So I can only assume that's enough. Yes, it is. Beautiful. So we need 4 more luxury 2-bedroom apartments. The good news is that I have this space over here, and this is exactly where they're going to go. So let's go to small 2-bedroom apartments. Let's do 1 and... Oh, no, this is going to be tricky. Because... No, actually, it's not going to be tricky. Let's do that. Let's just do this. Let's try and get the 4 of them so we can get that challenge. That is all I need to do. So if I go to here, and I go to trash, and I do an actual trash bin there and there, and recycling bins there and there. I do obviously need to bring utilities across to each of these apartments, but in theory, this should work fine, and should get me the contract that I so desire. So let's bring water across as well, and bring some gas across too, and go ahead and say luxury 2-bedroom apartment 4 times over, and hopefully that'll get me the contract that I want. And if this works, I can just stack this up and hopefully get up to 250 people living in all of these buildings. That's the dream anyway. We'll see how it goes. This sky bridge also seems to be super, super useful. So there is 5 of 8, there's 6 of 8, there's 7, and there's 8. That actually worked. Okay. I do not want 500 office workers. Now, what is this? Large luxury 2-bedroom apartments. Sure. Let's try it. So these are large 2-bedrooms. Okay. I mean, it is... No, I want the duplex apartments. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And to get those, we need fashion accessories, clothing and apparel, and more luxury apartments. Right. Well, what I'm going to do is strip those, and I'll go ahead and get more luxury apartments. So we'll get a few of these. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that one's misaligned. We're going to fix that. So get rid of you. And we'll do these 2 here. So hopefully that's going to be enough. Then we'll do the duplex apartments. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, hopefully that'll be enough to get everything sorted. And then they wanted fashion accessories, clothing, apparel, luxury apartments. Luxury apartments we're going to deal with. So we need more stores that sell fashion accessories and clothing and apparel. I think what I'm going to try and do then is do a couple of... Oh, no, can I fit them is the real question. 1 and... No, that's a shame. It would have been nice to get some stores up here. I know I can get the small ones, which I guess I might do. I don't know how loud these are either. I mean, they don't give off smell, so I can't imagine it'll be too troublesome. So... Let's try 3 stores there. Let's do... Oh, no, they don't do any... Okay, so that's useless. So I do need the big stores. Okay. So give me a medium store there and there. And that is fashion and accessories. So clothing store, I guess. And fashion accessories. Now that seems like handbags and briefcases to me. And yeah, we just need more luxury apartments, so that actually works. That's excellent news. What I'll do then is get a small restaurant on the same floor, so that there is some traffic just generally coming up here. Let's go for a salad and hot bar. No, that's lunch. We probably want breakfast, don't we? We probably want somewhere that'll do breakfast and lunch. Yeah, so you do breakfast, and you do lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner, breakfast and lunch. We'll do a couple of breakfast and lunch places. Those guys will move in. Obviously, gonna want these apartments here. So let's go ahead and get all of these guys to move in, and then obviously we're gonna need to get all of the utilities as well. Oh, we can actually... No, that's not the duplex. I thought it was. But we can actually get the duplex as well, so... Let me just go ahead and actually pause the game there and start putting in the utilities. And this might work. I mean, obviously my prestige hasn't clawed itself back, but if I can get my total rent every day to be ridiculous in terms of money, then I can go ahead and just add a bunch of pieces of art, and Bob's your uncle is a phrase I don't often say, or have possibly never said. Obviously, not everything is going to be doom and gloom today, ladies and gents, because of course, we are going to put some names in the game. And today, I've decided that I'm only going to do 4 names, quite simply because I don't want to spend too long on this. I want to focus on getting the tower working again. So we have picked 4 names, and the first one, suggested by Toby Lamb, was he wanted someone called Toby. And he said Toby, I think this is certainly obviously began with K. So Toby, there you go, you work at Office Supplies, and that was a nice dinner spot. Little Erroneous wanted to be called Aaron. There you go, buddy. You work at Marvin Mazur and Associates. And again, that was a nice dinner spot. I would continue with names, but we're about to finish a contract, so... Yeah, I thought we'd just take a moment to acknowledge that, because that's actually pretty friggin' cool that we got that contract out of the way. Minus 15 on prestige currently, minus 88 from people moving out. But contracts are certainly a way to get prestige. If we were to get this, which is... I honestly don't know. What is it? We sign it. They want another... Okay, so I can get 1 prestige from that as well. Okay, well, that's something to definitely look into, is that kind of thing for getting prestige. But I think I'm just going to focus on art as the main way to do it. Anyway, we have more names that need to go in the game. And interestingly, it doesn't seem like there's anyone actually working in these stores, which is very strange. There's no customers yesterday and no customers yesterday, so those guys are probably going to leave very soon. Let's just come down this way and find myself a little store. Yeah, it doesn't actually look like people work in the stores. No, they do. These are little... Okay, well, that's just weird. That is just very weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and rename Darlene to... I'm going to assume Javiera. So, Javiera. Then our little asterisk there. And that was suggested by... And I'm probably going to butcher your name, but I'm going to assume Javiera Mansilla Ishihara. Hopefully got that close enough. You had a delicious dinner, and you work at the Blue Carnation Flower Shop. And the final name for today, suggested by, again, probably going to butcher this, Norden El Assassi. He wanted to work in a store, so there you go, buddy. You cannot stand how grimy the walls are getting. Okay, well, good to know. Let's go ahead and just renovate 5 total tenants. And we'll see how things go. Now, we are up to 192 people living in the building currently. I still can't get these, though. I really need to start focusing on getting these luxury lofts back in the building, but unfortunately, I just really don't have the, I don't have the money to get my prestige back up. I don't really know that I have the capability to get some consistent large restaurants in here, but I guess I could try. It is just an issue when you try adding loads of large restaurants in. People just don't go to them. That's the thing. Like, a lot of these places are getting very few customers. These guys up here, for example, are getting, I mean, no customers. Would these guys are? I mean, you just had a customer, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully you'll start getting more customers. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start adding in a couple more of these. We'll do, say, 2 of those. Now, you know what? We'll do 4 of them, and then a couple of these as well, so that we can just fill out the space there quite nicely. Get some of these large duplex apartments, and I am going to need to do utilities and all these guys. So let's get some more luxury apartments as well, because luxury apartments are quite nice. They pay more rent. They pay 100 more in rent, so that's going to be super useful for me. Then what I'm going to have to do, obviously, is put the utilities in, so we'll do the electrical lines. And once we've done this, I guess we can have a little bit of a look and see if we can start maybe building towards the loft apartments. I would love to get the headquarters back in, but to get those, I mean, I need more restaurants with gourmet menus, more luxury stores. So I don't know if that's a thing we could do. I don't know if I could legitimately sustain all of that stuff in the building, so we'll see. We'll see if we can get the broadcasting headquarters back in. There were some people who were saying that they would love to have a job and have a character named after them that works in broadcasting. If that's possible, the next episode we'll totally go ahead and do that. But this episode, I think I'm just going to focus on trying to get these 250 people in and then leave it there. As for this challenge, I mean, I guess we do need more, 3 more large restaurants might help towards getting broadcasting in. I think it was large restaurants they wanted. I will check once I've gone ahead and put the gas lines in. So let's just go ahead and run that across to there. And run these all into those. Oh, didn't get that one properly. Get that into that apartment. There we go. So those guys are free to move in. Did they need large restaurants? They didn't. Okay, so more luxury shops and more restaurants with gourmet menus. So really, I mean, they want gourmet restaurants. That's fairly self-explanatory. So, what if I were to go ahead and increase the height of this building a bit? So if I take this building up to that height, I wanted to, well, I'll go a little bit higher, I think. But I'll just pause the game while I do this so my workers aren't freaking the hell out. But if I just do this kind of thing, like so, to that height, we'll go 1 higher for reasons that you will see in a moment. Then I'm going to build up in here, just like so, to that height. Basically, I'm going to put a little sky bridge in there that's going to connect where I'm going to put the gourmet restaurants and the luxury stores, so that the people in the headquarters should then be able to use them in theory. And it also adds a little bit of asymmetry to the whole structure, which I think will look really nice. So let's just go ahead and bring that all down, like so. Alright, so that's going to get constructed. Obviously, I need some elevators in there, so let's go ahead and add those to this whole space. I realized I did say I wasn't going to be focusing on these guys just yet. I'll get the space built, and I'll put the utilities in, but again, I think we'll leave the actual construction of those headquarters and all the stores that they're going to need for the next one. So let's go ahead and get the plumbing closets in. And, right, so that's all going to get constructed. Obviously, the apartments are actually done, which is great news. 198 people living in the building currently. These loft apartments are still out of my reach, which is annoying because they actually need gourmet restaurants and luxury stores as well. So, that's a bit problematic. That is just a little bit problematic. Okay. Okay, can I need to streamline my strategy. We do need more housekeeping as well. That's something I'm noticing. So let's go to here. That's not where I wanted to go. I want to go here. So housekeeping services need to go there. And we're also going to need dry cleaning services. And apparently we also need floral arrangement services, which are desired. So I'll throw that up there, because that's a bit different. And tailoring services too, which is an interesting thing to be... So this is also dog sitting services. Yeah, they don't want much, do they? They really don't want much. Personal trainers. No. They don't want much. Yeesh. Right, get those things in. Someone just moved out. I'm not quite sure why. Who just moved out? Why did you move out? Oh, the elevators are loud and too close. Really? Foot traffic is distracting. I mean, I disagree. They do need some of these services that I'm now adding, though. The problem is, I have a funny feeling we're about to see another small exodus of these fancy apartments because my workers are going to prioritize the boxes that need to be moved as opposed to the construction, which they were doing and are now going to go ahead and abandon, as you can see. Oh no, they are building these. That's a surprise. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. They are doing the construction of something that we absolutely needed. So, I mean, they've gone off to get the rest of the boxes, but that is definitely a start. These guys are a little bit happier, which is great. So hopefully we'll see that continue. Those boxes still need to be moved out. There's nothing I can really do about this sound of the elevators. These guys are getting to be happier. Someone else just moved out. Who just moved out that time? I have no idea who that was. Let's just oh, it was one of these shops. And it's because they're not turning a profit. That's fine. No, that's okay. Minus 17 prestige is tolerable. These places are set up now. These guys are still a bit unhappy. They are getting happier though, because some of the things that they wanted are now available. So that's fine. They need more shops that sell appliances and houseware. Someone else just got up and left. Not quite sure who that was. It was these guys. Again, don't really know why, but that's fine. So appliances and housewares. Okay, well I mean, that's doable. Let me just go ahead and add in another one of those sort of loft things there. Can I still get it? No. We need more appliances and houseware stores. Okay. Well, that's fine, I guess. I could add it in over here, I think. Can I get a medium store? No, I can't. I guess I'm going to need to wait for these guys to start construction over here again, because my builders are once again focusing on moving people out as opposed to construction. There they go. Right, so I want to get 2 stores on this floor. Or maybe just 1. Maybe 2 different stores is probably the better bet. So if I go to appliances and housewares and advertise, we'll get a shoe store just here. Because that seems like a pretty good idea. And hopefully that'll let me get the loft apartment again. I don't know if they need phone lines, but it's probably worth adding them anyway. I highly doubt they need cable TV, but they can have it anyway. I also highly doubt they're going to need gas, but again, they can have it. Now, how's the advertising going? We can actually get 1, there we go. And then we can hopefully move you back in. No, we can't. Well, that's annoying. That is a bit annoying. So we have the store, they're just not happy. You guys aren't happy, you guys aren't happy. I mean, you have dog sitting services. They're over in this building. I mean, if you're not using the dog sitting services, that seems like it would be on you. Okay, so we're currently making $31,766 every day. These guys up here seem to be a little bit happier than they once were. It turns out, and you probably saw this before I did, that I didn't have trash bins on every floor, so they are now a little bit happier than they once were. There are apparently strange smells, and they do still need a greater variety of stores, and they need personal training services, and generally speaking, they're all very miserable. But we are getting there with this whole thing. We apparently need more plumbers, more dog walking, more dry cleaning, etc., etc. Apparently we just need more of everything, which is certainly infuriating. Dog sitting we need more of. Honestly, I debate whether I realistically do need more of those things or whether or not I just need to put another small sky bridge in here. Because at this point, it's honestly tempting to turn the whole building into one. I just really don't want to do that from an aesthetic point of view. Although it's... I mean, I'm really tempted to just throw a sky bridge in up here or something. Like on that... Maybe just there. It might be worth it, just throwing another one in there to connect these buildings up. Let's give it a shot as, I think, a final little move for this episode. We'll see if this happens to have a positive effect on those guys up there. It might not do anything at all, but I mean, I can dream at this point, and really, that's all I have when it comes to magnificent towers. I don't know if it's ever truly going to be magnificent again, but we will certainly find out. So that is a connection, that's for sure, and people are certainly using it. Whether or not it ends up being used well, I don't know. We will certainly find out. Now, these guys need gas connections. I did sort of forget to give them anything they were going to need. I don't know if they need phone connections. I don't care if they don't need phone connections. They're getting phone connections. They're also getting water, and then they can have some gas. There we go. Alright, so these guys are all connected pretty well at this point to this structure over here. They are cheering up a little bit, which is good. These guys here don't have water or gas, which is interesting. They don't have anything. Okay, I'm not quite sure how that happened, but okay, there you go. And there you go. Oh, they did a phone connection. Of course they do. Okay. So there's a phone connection for you lot as well. And hopefully that's going to make things work. We're at 198 out of 250 residents. Again, I think 250 is perfectly achievable. I think at this point it is just a case of sitting about and hoping for the best. So what I'm going to do, ladies and gents, is I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to leave the game running for a little bit so I can generate some money and place in a bunch more sculptures. As you might have noticed, I've placed a couple more along here. If I place another 15, my influence, my prestige level will be 0. So that's doable. It's just quite expensive. So that's something to look into and consider. But for the time being, honestly, I'm glad that we are giving Magnificent Towers this this shot. We're giving it a bit, you know, we're seeing if we can make it work, and I'm enjoying it. I like the challenge. So thank you kind of for watching. This has been Project Highrise and Magnificent Towers. Next episode will probably be the final episode with Magnificent Towers. I'm not going to say for sure that it will be, but at this rate, it most likely will be. I think we'll try and even out the prestige level and see if we can get some of these challenges done. Or, you know, see if we can get these two done and make everyone sort of relatively happy. And then I think I will step down as the architect and manager of Magnificent Towers. So thank you kind of for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.